We're thinking this week, amongst other things, about darkness and light, and I don't suppose there's a single book in the Bible that doesn't explore this theme. Total darkness is hard to find these days. As a nation, we shine out into space more than most. Even in the middle of Dartmoor, the lights of Plymouth can be seen on the horizon. Possibly the only way to find total darkness locally is to explore the two large cave systems which lie in Buckfastleigh on either side of the A38, the largest dry system in Europe, I'm told. Having talked about darkness, scientifically speaking, of course, it does not exist. You cannot measure it with a meter. You can only measure the amount of light present. In the same way, there's no such thing as cold. You cannot measure cold with a thermometer, only the amount of heat. Here I have to admit, of course, that the non-existence of cold is contrary to the experience of Anglicans during the winter months, but it is true. Scientists bear out what Jesus said: light must always overcome darkness. Darkness cannot overcome light. As light grows, the dark must recede. Vision is perhaps the most important sense for us humans. Anyone who is totally blind will confirm that you're vulnerable. Moving about is hazardous, and communication is restricted as you cannot read. You're more dependent on others, and of course including, one hopes, the skill of your guide dog. As it says in the Bible, it's better to walk a rough path in the light than a smooth one in the dark. While he was living on earth, Jesus claimed that he was the light of the world. And many will remember the Holman Hunt picture of Jesus, light of the world, carrying a lantern, knocking on the door and asking for admission. Living without any reference to God is to live in a very dark place. But how, as it were, do we open that door and let in the light? Obvious answers would be study of the Bible and prayer. But there are other ways, if we're receptive. We can, for example, learn from the example of others, both alive and dead. We can observe someone's path into light as he or she has learnt and applied their God-given wisdom. And sadly, we've all seen what happens when people prefer to act under cover of dark. Jesus was deeply saddened when he saw this. And of course, as Jesus promised, we're not left to stumble about in the dark, gathering bruises. We're promised a guide to lead us, as it says, into the light. The Holy Spirit travels with us, and as we receive the light, we are, of course, meant to shine it on to all that is going on around us, to expose what is wrong, and try to lead others into the truth. At this point, we're definitely asking for courage and discretion.